Getting ready to go live.
Yeah.
All right,
I got
all
me
right.
some new ones.
Oh, yes. Look at the shades. Beautiful.
And we are live. Welcome to Christian Crossfire. With me, as always, is Waylon the Red Rooster, Frank Wiley, Jamie Adams, Kylan Erickson, David Snell, and the great Marcus Pratt.
Yeah.
Today.
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
everyone.
Welcome, brothers.
How you doing? How you doing? Bless you.
Oh, God
Bless
bless
you.
you. Oh,
Yes,
God bless
again.
you again.
Woo!
Woo! Glory. God bless you.
Woo! Let's get it started.
In the words of God, Danny, Yahweh bless you. Yahweh bless you.
Oh. I want to thank the Lord for being alive. I know that. I've been sick as a dog for.
Talk about it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to keep this brief. I actually made a little list. A week today, I've had over 103 temperature. Besides being miserable, the achy bones, the whole 9 yards, I ended up passing out 3 times from the standing up position.
Whoa.
So I was in the kitchen, and I was like, I could feel it coming, so I went to lean, but apparently it was too late, and I crashed into the base cabinets, woke up on the floor, and I was like, this isn't good. So I'm gonna try to make it, somewhere safe, like the bed or something. And so I try to get up and go again, and halfway to my destination, I go down in the living room. And this is the first time this has ever happened. I go down the living room, I wake up on my hands and knees, and I'm in a seizure. I'm seizing back and forth.
Whoa.
And I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of write it out, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this is not good. So I try to get up and finally make it back to the bedroom. I go down again somehow in the hallway and crash against the wall. I wake up with half my body in the bathroom, with my head and in the cold sweats laying on the tile floor, and the other half of my body in the hallway. And no joke, I didn't know if it was cold sweats or if I was bleeding or what. And I was at peace. I thought, well, if I'm going out, love you, Lord. I didn't know what to do, so I just kind of laid there, and then I started to feel real good again, get the blood rushing.
Right.
So I get up and then I go. I finally make it to bed. Well, this is the bad part. So it gets worse. Well, I consider it a little worse. So I start feeling a little better, right? The next day, but I can't sleep. So I go to get me a melatonin, try to help me sleep. Well, there's something that I realized that you shouldn't do when you're real bad sick.
Oh.
And I don't want to get gross here, but I trusted a fart, and it went real bad, and I'll just leave it at that. And I thought, how much worse can it get? And so here we are a week later, and I'm just now recovering. If you hear me coughing horrendously, my apologies during the broadcast.
No
But I've
worries.
never
mute
been,
your mic.
huh?
Just mute your mic.
Yeah,
That's
I've never
all.
been so happy to be better. I mean,
I was praying for you, man.
oh yeah,
Guys.
yeah. So
The moral of the story is, no matter what, whether you're sick or healthy, don't trust a fart.
no, you can't. Not when you're
once you
that
turn
sick.
40, you can't do that anymore.
No. But seriously, just to be in good health, I've never been. I mean, God has an amazing way of making you really, content.
Did it
Slow
go up
down.
your back, Waylon? Did the diarrhea go up your back?
No, I was standing up. I won't get into detail. It was bad enough. I knew it was bad when I
Sick?
felt the dribble. Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah. So anyway, thanks for the prayers. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Glad you're better.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yes, sir.
Hey, is Jamie allowed back on? What is he's backstage? Is he being punished?
We'll bring him back.
I think he's
Okay.
decided to pop.
Hey,
Here we go.
hey, Waylon, you reckon you got food poisoning or something when you was eating that Little Caesars or something?
No, I haven't ate Little Caesars in 10, 15 years. I
You
refuse to
said you
eat that.
fell in a Caesar.
No,
Oh,
take him back off.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. Hey, if you die, you gotta give
He
me
was
2 weeks
having
notice because-
seizures.
A seizure.
Oh, well, if you
Yeah.
die, man, you got to give me a 2-week notice before I come to your funeral, man. I got this new job,
Okay,
man. They'll
appreciate
let you
that.
off for immediate family, but the best friend, it's kind of hard to get off. So I got to get a 2-week notice if you die.
Yeah, I'll do
Hey.
my best to give you a 2-week notice before I die, Jamie. I appreciate
appreciate
that.
it.
Anybody here dies, we'll do like a tribute, but then we're still the show must go on.
Absolutely.
That's how it goes. Yep.
Speaking of the show, we never got through our Beatitudes. The last one we got to was "Blessed are they that hunger and thirst," which is which I'm not even in the right chapter. Which is
halfway
what,
through.
number 6? We're in verse 6. Anybody want to start it out?
Hey, guys, before y'all I've got to get this stuff done. But I just want to let everybody know, love you, praying for you, and hope the show goes good tonight.
Okay, we
Okay.
appreciate you.
Well,
All
I
right.
wanted to come on where I won't get thrown off
Yeah.
the broadcast.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, God bless you. Yahweh loves you, Jamie.
Yeah, we love you, man.
Yeah, well,
All right.
God does
Thank you,
too.
James.
All right, we'll see you.
See you,
Go
buddy.
ahead, James.
All right, thank God.
Yeah. I'm just going to read down through the 6th verse, and then somebody can pick up if you want to throw something out there.
What is this?
I'm just going to start reading where we left off, or down through 2 through 6.
2 through 6. What?
Matthew 5, the Beatitudes.
Matthew 5, Beatitudes. Here we go.
We'll try to just finish him up. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." I've got one quick one to go with that verse, and then you guys can take off with it. St. John 6, and I think we hit it the other week, but we'll go ahead and hit it again real fast. St. John 6, 50, 51, 50, St. John 6, 50. Jesus said, "This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If a man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. The bread which I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world." The Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, "How can this man give us his flesh to eat?" And Jesus saith unto him, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life. I'll raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him." Anybody got anything to go with that?
Well, like I said last time, was Isaiah 50, 51, 55, I think it was.
55,
But
yeah.
what I was going to follow up with that on that one was Isaiah 35, but that might be a little deeper than what most people are used to.
Well, let's just hit 55 first. Is that what you wanted, the first, second verse?
Yeah, you can read past that too, but yeah, that's generally good. 1 to 3, 1 to 2.
"Ho, every one that thirsteth, come to you to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, that your soul, and eat that which is good, and your soul shall delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto me, and your soul shall live. and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it goes good with it.
Yeah, and then Isaiah 35.
You got it? Read it.
Let's see. I can pull it up on my phone.
Oh, he don't have it in front of him, making me do all the
Yeah,
work.
well, some of it's just based on memory.
Isaiah 35, and are you wanting the highway shall be there, or are you wanting?
It leads up to that, but you could
Oh, the
basically start at
streams and
1. I
the
mean,
desert.
1 to 8 is great, but I would just probably start just at 3. But then again, I mean, you got the blossoming and 2. So, I mean, it's all good, dude.
It's in your court. Go ahead. You said it.
All right, fine. I'll just read the whole thing. The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice even with the joy of singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of God, of our God. Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. And the habitation of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with seeds and with reeds and rushes. And an highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools, shall not err therein.
That's good.
That's right.
Hey, there's
right
your
with
voice for your book.
What's that?
Kyle,
Oh, Kylan's
the
voice.
audiobook. Kylan can do your audiobook.
Did you
There
hear
you
the
go.
octaves? Like doo 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 doo. I mean, yeah. That's good. Anybody got anything else to go with it?
Psalm 107 is pretty good.
Psalms 107.
All right, Frank.
Especially down around verse 9 talks about, for he satisfieth the longing soul and filleth the hungry soul with goodness.
Tell us where you're at again.
Psalm
107.
7.
Read it.
Says, O give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, for he hath redeemed from the hand of the enemy, and gathered them out of the lands from the east and from the west, and from the north and from the south. They wandered in the wilderness in a solitary way. They found no city to dwell in. Hungry and thirsty, their soul fainteth in them. Then they cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distresses. And he led them forth by the right way, that they may go to a city of habitation. Oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. For he satisfieth the longing soul and filleth the hungry soul with goodness.
It's good.
Amen.
That's real good.
Mm-hmm.
But is that Psalms? Is that 42? Where's that at? Or is that 46?
What are you looking for?
46. That the river. That Psalms 46. Just to go with hungering and thirsting.
Yeah, 46 and 4.
Yeah, there is a river. The streams thereof shall make glad the city of God,
Mm-hmm.
the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. And this is the beautiful part. Remember, it said we just read, "Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness." Well, Jeremiah 25 or 23 says, "The Lord our righteousness," but it says God in the 5th verse. God, or Yahuwah, depending on the argument of the conversation. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early. So God's in the midst of those tabernacles. He's in the midst of the streams. He's in the midst of the waters. And if you hunger and thirst, I mean, that's really, it makes me think of Revelations. Is it 20? And we can,
We
Or is
always
it
go to
9
Revelations 20.
or is it 19? Let's see.
I think it might be 19, depending on what angle you're going with.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 22.
22.
I mean, it's definitely not what I was thinking.
22:1, and he showed me a pure river. What was it? A water of life. Well, what's in that? It's God, right? Clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. Well, if it came from them, God has to be in it, right?
Mhm.
In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, what was there? The tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. If you hunger and thirst for it, He'll bring you to the waters.
He will. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look at 7 and 16 in Revelation there as well. You're right there.
What
Well,
chapter?
Revelation
No, what chapter?
Revel-
Revelations?
7.
Oh, chapter
7.
7.
Chapter
Yep.
7,
And then
verse 6.
around verse 16.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Um, 15, 16. Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth upon the throne shall dwell among them. Well, that's the next verse in Revelations 20. It says, God and the Lamb will be with them.
Mm-hmm.
They shall
Right.
hunger no more, neither thirst
Frank, were you
anymore.
talking about 7 and 16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Neither
what you're
shall-
reading now?
That's what I'm reading now, yeah.
Oh,
It just,
I'm sorry.
no, you're good.
He was tying it together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because right where I quit reading in 22 and 3, it says, there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve them. Well, in Revelation 6 and 15, therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. The throne's coming down to be with them. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. Oh, and 17.
Yep. There it
Gosh.
is.
For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the end. God shall wipe away all tears from their
Years.
eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, with all the let's just call it imagery for now about waters and things of that nature, it really reminds me of Malachi 3 and 10. And I can go ahead and just read that too. But talking about being blessed with that everlasting water.
Yeah.
But bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Pouring out those living waters, that eternal life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's good, Colin.
It is.
Absolutely.
Hey, Waylon, look at Amos 8.
You
8th
doing the
chapter.
famine?
Yes, sir. You know where it's at.
Amos.
That ties kind of right into Malachi a little bit there.
Oh, okay.
I haven't dove into
11 or
ever.
Yeah.
behold the
11
days
through
come.
13.
All right.
What's that again?
Amos 8, 11 through 13.
Okay, got it.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or you got okay. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of sorry, not a famine of bread, or for thirst of or a thirst of water for water, but of hearing of the words of the Lord. They shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. And that day shall the fair virgins and the young men faint for thirst. That's good. And that just goes to show you that unless God reveals it to you, you're going to hunger and thirst forever. He's got to reveal it to you.
Yeah.
And I still think there's a famine right now, worse than really I've
It
ever
is.
seen it when it comes to
Mhm.
preaching the gospel.
Mhm.
Well, explain that a little, Waylon, so we know where you're coming from.
Well, I'll just use my favorite illustration, like eternal security doctrine, right?
Right?
Yeah. Only
Everybody
saved
knows I
always.
can't stand it, right? Which I believe in eternal security in Christ, and I believe there's a way to keep that alive. But they'll take the same word, same book, the same word, and they'll feed you the same words, but they'll twist it into a fairy tale doctrine
Mm.
that everything was finished on the cross. There's nothing you can do. There's no sufferings really needed. You don't have to make any qualifications. You don't have to meet any standards, and that just believe by faith. So what they're doing is they're taking the bread of life, they're taking the water of life. It's the same words, but they're changing the recipe up a little bit and they're feeding it to you, and people are starving to death because they're not actually getting the edification out of the word.
Mhm.
All they're getting is a false promise of their future.
Mhm.
And I think people are starving to death for some real gospel, but they're just not seeking it. What do you say? Yeah, you got to seek and hunger for it, right? You got to thirst for it. They're not hungry for the real gospel. Um, and I think they're starving to death spiritually, and it's right in front of them. But just God's not
Mhm.
revealing it to them because they got itching ears, heaping up teachers of all sorts of fairy tale doctrines. So, does that make any sense at all?
And you know, even my
Mhm.
pastor just talked about that today. He said, if we don't do what we're supposed to do as children of God, we're living in a world now, people are dying
Yeah,
spiritually right now. And
yeah,
we're going to give an account if we don't step up and do our
absolutely.
part.
We all owe something, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
We
yeah.
owe
There
something.
ain't nothing. There ain't nothing free. I mean,
No,
it might be free financially, but there ain't nothing free.
no.
Somebody's paying for it, though.
Yeah,
That's a good example, Waylon, is no matter where you go, it's like, hey, this is free. Well, somebody paid for it, and now
yeah,
you're being
Yep.
given.
Yeah.
Jesus has already paid for it.
Come on.
yep.
You're being given it. Now you have to appreciate it a little bit.
And
Yes.
it comes with a cost. Yeah,
It,
I don't care what anybody says.
yeah, it's not something where like, oh, I was just born into it's a lot of the once saved, always saved. They're like, I was just born into this. So I'm
That's another
forgiven.
lie. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm forgiven based on what I was. No, no,
no.
not at all.
Mm-mm.
You're capable of doing bad and doing wrong and evil as anyone else is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Got it.
and
Got it.
keep praying for. I want Brother Tony to come on. He's on our group, and we've been doing good, having a good civil discussion on the eternal security doctrine. And he is on our um, our men's group, our live.
Okay.
But he's not come on yet. So, Brother Tony, we love you. We want you to come on the broadcast. But we really do because we've called each other out on our programs, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's a good discussion. I mean, he's wanting to have the discussion. I
Right.
just don't know when. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be nice.
We
Well,
will.
I can't promise Jamie will be nice, but I'm gonna do my best. We'll be nice.
Tonight had been a perfect night for him to come on.
Yeah,
I know.
really. Yeah. That's true.
One more quick one on that Isaiah or no Psalms first chapter. And there was a verse, and I think it's in Isaiah. I won't waste time trying to find it, but it talked about. Wow, there it is. Never mind. Isaiah 43.
Mm.
Um, we could do a. I'm sorry. I thought about how we do our polls where we'll like vote for subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually never get the one I want, but everybody votes and then we talk about it.
Uh-oh.
There was
Uh-oh.
one. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
What's that say?
All right.
Oh,
Danny Mayer, Mr. Yahuwah himself. All
himself.
right.
Yes, sir.
We love you, Danny. We believe you're wrong, but we love you.
Yeah, we
Isaiah
still love you.
43. I was wanting to do in the future maybe a subject on dragons and
Mm-hmm.
um, dragons in the Bible, because a lot of people take a lot of things literally. Um, and it would be a very interesting subject. I think it would open up some people's eyes to like serpents and dragons and different creatures in the Bible. Um, but Isaiah 43, and it goes with our thirsting and drinking here in the Beatitudes. Isaiah 43 and 18, reading down. He says, remember you not the former things, neither consider the things of old. He said, behold, I do a new thing. Shall it now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? He said, I will even make a way. Kylan read it earlier about the way of holiness, cast up a way. He said, I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. What is it for? The beast of the field shall honor me. The dragons and the owls. Why? Why are they going to honor him? Because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen. So, and I'm not going to get into all that tonight, but those owls and those dragons, they were unclean beasts and creatures that God was going to open up a way to give them a drink that they could be part of his people. And that's what all this is talking about. And you remember when Peter was on the housetop and God showed him the vision, and he showed him all different manner of creeping things, and later God showed him, and Peter understood that he was trying to show him that those were represented unclean people that God has transitioned, has cleaned up, that were now his chosen, his people. So there's a lot in Isaiah, but so yeah, that was Isaiah 43. My last place is Psalms 1, and then we'll um,
You go to Psalms 1, you're going to have to start teaching on what the trees are.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got dragons, owls, moving trees, and talking trees. Psalms 1 and 3, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters. He shall bring his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Sounds a little bit like Revelations that we read earlier. But yeah, there's a lot. You guys want to do anything else on hungering and thirsting, or do you want to jump down to the next one?
Let's jump down to the next one.
Let me get back to it. Number 7, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And we'll have to, I guess, what time is it? We're going to have to run. Well, it ain't too bad. Merciful.
Minutes.
You guys got anything on that?
I think that one's pretty self-explanatory there.
Tell them.
You know, out in the world, you don't find much mercy,
No.
honestly.
No.
Even just out on the freeway driving, people are just, I mean, it's a terrible world outside, but having mercy, to me, I'm thankful that I've always had a merciful heart, and I believe that's why I've been able to obtain so much mercy that I've got from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you have to be merciful in order to get mercy, is what this verse is saying. So if you're
Come on now. All
if
right.
you're all the time just hard on somebody and judging, just talking down to them, and have a little mercy, or you can't even get mercy from the Lord yourself.
Right. Come on now.
That's how I feel. I'm thankful for that verse, because I know if I'm merciful, I can get that mercy from the Lord that I need every day.
All right.
Yes,
All right.
sir. Absolutely.
Looks like I took.
Go, David.
Waylon, the other day, I said, the Lord just gave me a humbled heart this week, and He said it just as plain as I can sit here. He says, son, you know the word. You don't have to argue. You don't have to debate. You don't have to do none of that because you know the truth. Just do what I ask, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that really humbled my heart. It really did.
That's all we can do is what he tells us, ain't it?
Yep.
Well, and that's pretty much the key too. A lot of one thing that doesn't often get discussed, and what sometimes most people won't realize, is that mercy extends to that forbearance and long suffering. When you're forbearant with someone, when you're long suffering with them, when you bear well with them, that in itself is mercy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. James, what Jim say? Jim 2:13 of James. Is that what he wants?
James, I think it's 2:13.
Oh yeah, that's a real good one. For he shall have this James 2nd chapter 13 verse. So he shall have judgment without mercy that showeth no mercy,
Mm-hmm.
and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. Yeah, I mean, there's a day coming that God's gonna judge the world by Jesus Christ,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and if we ain't showed mercy by then, it's too late.
It's
I
too
mean,
late.
yeah. And I know that's good. I
What does it
haven't heard that
mean to
verse in a
show
while.
mercy?
To show mercy,
Yeah, what do you guys think it means to show mercy?
I think
I'd say compassion would be a good word.
Yeah.
And like the brother said, forbearing. There's a verse that talks about forbearing one another in love.
yeah,
That means to be able to look past their faults,
Mm-hmm.
and look more to their soul.
Or maybe look past a doctrine that you don't possibly
Yes.
agree with.
Right.
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there that don't believe at all. So you got to look past that a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
try to give them mercy and show them the light, show them where truly how happiness truly is, and that's in Jesus.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, show
Jesus taught
everybody.
that he would leave 99 and go after the one lost sheep. I mean, that's
Come
mercy
on.
in and of
Come on.
itself. If we can't do that, then we're just hard-hearted in judgment.
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
remember the story of? I forgot where it's at now. Anyway, I'll just kind of.
I agree, Jim. Yeah,
I do too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
You remember the story of Jonathan and David, where
Yeah.
basically Saul was wanting to kill David, and I thought it was here in Samuel, but I won't waste time looking for it.
Talking
And
about when he
anyway,
shot the arrow.
yeah, and basically he told David, he said, "Look, my father's gonna, if I see danger, if I see you're in danger, I'm gonna shoot the arrows past you." And
Mm-hmm.
and I might mess it up a little bit on the ad lib, but anyway, it came to the point where Jonathan found out that Saul was wanting to kill David, and he sent the arrows out past the mark, and it was a sign. Then when Jonathan's young man that went to go get the arrows retrieved them back and brought them back, and David and Jonathan got to see each other one last time, and before they departed, and the Bible says that Jonathan sent David away. He had mercy, and that was one of the greatest mercies that Jonathan could ever show
I
David,
agree.
and that was he had David go wait in a certain place, and I believe it was behind a certain stone in a certain area, and it was the third day that this happened, and he showed David mercy on the third day and sent him away in peace. Well, when you go back and you look at what happened on the resurrection, in that third day, that's when God gave Jesus
Mm-hmm.
the sure mercies of David, and that's
Yes.
Acts 13th chapter. And it's wild because all these Jewish stories and Old Testament stories, the Jews should see so many likenesses and so many things showing that Jesus in the resurrection, the third day. But um, Acts 13 and 33, well, 32 through 34. And we declare unto you glad tidings, how that the promise which was made unto the fathers, God hath fulfilled the same unto us their children, and that he hath raised up Jesus again. As it is also written in the second Psalm, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And as concerning that he raised him up from the dead, now no more to return to corruption, he said on this wise, I will give you the sure mercies of David. What does that mean? That's eternal mercies of David. What's that mean? The 35th verse says it. Wherefore, when he saith also in another psalm, Thou shalt not suffer thine holy one to see corruption. For David, after he served his own generation by the will of God, fallen asleep, he was laid unto his fathers and saw corruption. Death is corruption. But he brings a timeline in. But he whom God raised again, he saw no corruption. That the resurrection is where you never see corruption again. That's the sure mercies of David. So he said, Blessed are the merciful, they shall obtain mercy. If we show forgiveness and we show mercy, one day God's going to show us that eternal mercy. And that's the sure mercies of David. It takes the resurrection. That's the forever forgiveness. I mean, even things that we don't know that we're wrong in, we might not even see about ourselves. When God raises us up from the dead, it's all going to be out of the way. It's going to be nothing but the sure mercies of
Well,
David.
wouldn't you call that favor?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that one of the oldest translations, all the way back into the ancient Latin, for mercy is favor?
I did not know that.
Yep.
No,
It also
neither.
means pity.
Pity, yeah.
So what did Jonathan show David? Both pity and favor.
Yes, he did.
Indeed.
That's good. Boy,
David also showed Saul mercy when he was in the cave there,
That's
He
true.
did.
and he could have took his life there, and he showed mercy.
Didn't he take his garment?
He sure did.
Yeah.
He cut a
Piece
piece of
of
his
it.
garment.
Yeah, he cut a
Yeah.
piece off, and you'll find that all throughout the Bible. You'll find people doing really bad, and then realizing they're wrong, and then start giving favor or blessing or whatever you want to.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a good place here in Galatians, the 6th chapter.
Let's go.
The first 2 verses. I think this is a good biblical example of mercy and actually trying to teach mercy. It says, Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
Absolutely.
That's a hard thing to do.
Well, it is.
Oh,
It takes
I can
that
do better.
spirit of, it takes that spirit of meekness that's up above, and blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. That I believe that comes from God, that spirit of meekness.
Yes, it
I do
does.
too.
You know how many times I've seen people get up behind the pulpit and give somebody a good old spanking? I mean, as soon as they found out somebody was doing something wrong, it was like clockwork. I've been guilty of it too, because you don't have mercy on that person like you should, and sometimes you'll take it out on a situation in front of multiple people. You know what I mean? Behind the pulpit, and use your platform for that. I've done it, and a lot of times.
Which
you
leads
talking
to
about,
church
Will?
hurt.
What's that?
Which
What are
leads
you
to
talking?
church hurt.
Well, just how preachers. I mean, I've done it myself. I've seen other preachers do it where they can take the word and they're right in what they're saying. They're absolutely. I mean, they're right. They're preaching the truth, the word. But instead of coming to you maybe privately and maybe having a talk, seeing where you might have got off track, they'll just get up behind the pulpit and just start preaching, and it's coming right to you. and that puts you in a weird place because then you get in the flesh, you get mad, and all sorts of stuff. It can be
Hey,
an ugly
Wayman,
situation.
Because
Doc
it's
don't know nothing
it's not
about
being
that.
done in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. It's not merciful. There's not the love
Right.
behind it. There's anger. There's zeal. You're supposed to have
Yeah.
mastery over the spirit that's been given you, and when you don't execute that mastery, you let your own emotions and biases in the way.
Yep.
You might feel that
Absolutely.
you're doing things right. You might feel led of God, but what God's giving you as truth, you're handling it in an unskillful way, and what you end up doing is hurting the people that you're trying to help.
That's right.
Pretty
Got
deep.
Hey,
Now,
Wayman,
Marcus
Doc
just
don't know nothing. He don't know nothing about that. They don't do that in the Catholic Church, I don't think.
That was a good throw. I like that, Marcus. Good
Oh
dig.
boy.
He's
See you,
leaving.
Doc.
I'm
It's been
sorry,
fun.
Doc. We're trying to educate you on some of the things that happened, Doc, and some
I
churches.
think you guys are more Catholic than you understand.
I believe it.
Hey, my grandmother was Catholic, so
Was she?
yeah.
I knew I liked Kylan for a reason. I knew I liked him.
I
That
still
means
got.
we got to show mercy to Danny. We got to show mercy to Doc and all the Catholics.
We do.
Yeah,
And there's
Okay,
a long
Marcus,
list.
slow down.
you have to.
And I
Hey,
just
this Pope isn't my Pope. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's
I'm
not
just going to be honest with you. Yeah, it kind of shook my tree for a minute, but the
What's
Lord
that?
gave me
What's that,
a
Dave?
humble heart when Danny was throwing
Oh,
little. It kind of threw me off, and it kind of hurt me a little bit, And that's when the Lord humbled my heart. Really humbled my heart.
Yahuwah.
Hey,
Me.
didn't he put a different spelling on that? He said it a couple different ways. I think he's messed his own doctrine up.
Yeah.
it's okay. I mean, I'm all for others believing whatever they want to believe, but and knowing, like, a lot of us believe we know the truth, and there is no. What we have is the end all be all, right?
Yeah.
I think we're all going to be mistaken once we make it up into heaven.
Yeah.
I know Catholics will. Go ahead, Doc. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
You might be I don't know. You might be a little mistake. You guys talk a lot about what Catholics believe. Like, your doctrine's kind of close to what Catholics believe, outside of all the pomp and circumstance that Catholics throw out there and all the tradition and stuff. The doctrine itself, when you're talking about biblical doctrine, you guys are kind of in that same realm that we're in. That's why I'm still on this broadcast, because you guys are kind of speaking my language.
Oh
I
yeah.
got it.
How do you feel about full baptism submersion?
Yeah.
Catholics do that, but they also recognize the sprinkle. But they also do the full immersion.
Oh, okay.
There are some Catholic church that are charismatic, so you'll get there and there'll be a priest doing the homily, but he's clapping and going ha, just like
No way.
yeah.
Oh
There's
yeah,
charismatic Catholics. Oh yeah,
Really?
Wow.
yeah.
Actually, if you can find me a good charismatic Catholic church, I'll go with you, Doc. If
Me
you're
too.
if you're a
There's
yeah,
one in Cincinnati.
I'll go with
Hey.
you.
I'll just take a weekend drive.
Yeah. Now I ain't gonna kneel and stand and eat the cracker with you, but I'll amen
Well, you're not allowed to eat the cracker with us
oh
because you haven't been confirmed in the Catholic.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
well, pray for me.
Okay. All right.
You want to go
Now-
to the
Now, Doc, I was brought up Lutheran, which was Catholic light, and we had the whole confirmation, we had all that, we had the consecration with the sprinkling, but now I'm Baptist, so I did the full submersion
Nope.
a few years ago. But would my confirmation stand in the Catholic Church? Would I be able to eat the cracker with you?
Were you baptized Catholic?
I was baptized Lutheran.
No.
I was confirmed Lutheran, and then I was baptized
You're out of there,
Baptist.
Frank.
You're out.
I'm out.
Hey, you're welcome to come to church. You just can't eat the cracker.
Right. Got
Wow.
Man,
No cracker, no
blessed
wine.
up barrier makers.
And the cracker in the Catholic Church, we call it the Eucharist.
it. Oh.
The
I
I
Eucharist.
thought they were all called the Eucharist.
Oh,
I didn't think Jesus put conditions on it. I think he said everybody's
Well, I was
supposed to
just
do this
explaining
often.
it's not necessarily called a cracker, as Waylon called it.
Polly wants a cracker.
Juice and crackers, yes, sir.
I got a great text message today. And I'm going to share it while we're in this little lull. My son, my oldest son, who's 27 years old, he said, "Hey, Dad, guess what I did today?" And then I got the text, and I was like, "I don't know, what?" He said, "I went to church this morning." I was like, "No kidding." So I got
really?
my oldest son went to church today.
Right?
Praise the Lord.
My oldest
Yes,
daughter,
sir.
she just got a vehicle and her license back. So she drove herself to church. So
Nice.
God bless them.
yeah,
What is
All
going
good stuff.
on?
I don't know.
Yes.
They're not going to Catholic churches though.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
That is beautiful.
Hey,
hey.
They're going to these Protestant churches.
I'm telling you.
what is going on here?
It's all right. I'm just glad. I
Let
mean,
them find their own way. Let them find their
I'm
own
glad
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
I'm pretty cool like that. I allow the kids to kind of find their own thing. And
Yep.
Yeah.
if you want to be a Baptist, one of them is going to a Baptist church. Another one's going to like a non-denominational church.
Got it. Got it.
But thankfully, my youngest son loves the Catholic Church.
Okay, I see where you're going now.
We got anyway.
Oh,
All right,
it's
where are
okay.
we at?
Well,
the next one's really good.
What is?
Verse 8, Matthew 5
Oh.
8.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. I've heard this verse preached my entire life, and I won't get too into detail, but from what I've heard preached, and I don't necessarily agree with it. There's only a certain crowd of people that's going to see God, is what I've heard preached.
Oh,
and according to this verse, Waylon, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Blessed are the pure in heart. In my opinion, if you don't have a pure heart, you're not going to heaven anyway.
Yeah.
But there's from what I've been taught, there's going to be separation in heaven. Only a certain crowd will be able to see God.
Come on.
And
Yeah.
I'm not fully on board with that, because what I read in Revelation, he's going to be the light there. Him and his son will be the light. How could you not see him?
Right.
Right. No, yeah, I don't believe that doctrine either. I mean,
Yeah, you're talking about the inner and the outer courts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that doctrine's it stuck over the years and nobody challenged it, and it should have been challenged a long time ago. Well, and here's the dumb thing is you're called the children of God, right? You're God's children, but yet you can't see him if you're not, you know what I mean? If you don't meet this certain, like there's different, like it doesn't make any sense. Who wouldn't want to see their
Beyond
children?
that, I mean, it said we'd be heirs with Christ.
Yeah. I mean,
not separate from Christ, but with Christ.
Exactly. Yeah. Ain't it funny how basic like the basic fundamental doctrine will put to question anything that don't sound right, and it does, and it should.
Just about anything.
Yeah.
Humans are crazy like that.
Well, that's why every denomination needs mercy.
They do.
Yep.
Because none of them have got it all right.
No.
I'm sorry.
I agree.
Like you said, Doc, there's going to be a lot. Get there, realize they was wrong about some things.
Yeah.
Now, Christian,
and they're there. If you make it there and you're like, "Oh, I'm wrong," I'm here though. Show me the right way.
Yeah, when we get there, man, I'm telling you, there's at all the doctrines. I don't think anybody's going to care once we get there. You know what I mean?
We're all going to get laughed at when we're going to be sat in a room or what, a chamber or what, and they're going to, you guys were totally wrong.
Right.
Here's what I meant by, I hope that happens.
I do too.
Well, if any of the Eternal Security guys make it, I just want to taunt them for the first 1,000 years, like, nah, 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 nah.
Right, right.
You're not going to have that spirit about you when it happens.
Oh. So what were we at? 8? Blessed pure in heart. Yeah, I mean, that one is pretty self-explanatory. You want to, for the sake of time, we're pushing an hour.
Mhm.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. I had somebody tell me, it's over doctrine, and they said, well, I'm just trying to be a peacemaker.
Mm.
And I thought, well, okay. I mean, you can use that, but you can't use that all the time, because there's a time for war. There's a time
Yep.
for
That's it.
peace. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Yeah. See, you can't just hide under, I'm a peacemaker. I don't want to argue. Sometimes you have to put it out there and have an adult discussion to create more peace, because if you just keep sweeping it under the rug, it's going to cause somebody problems later down the road. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think peacemaker means a weak yes man. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of people out there that just want to cause problems.
Right.
There's some
Yeah.
people that wake up like, what problem can I cause? There's other people that wake up and go, what problem can I solve? There's other people that just wake up and say, I just want to live today without not talking to anyone.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of us out there.
What's the greatest peacemaker thing that move you think a person could make? I'm looking for something in particular, and don't overthink it.
Oh,
What's
Swallow your
I'm
pride.
not over.
that's part of it? Yeah.
What's that? What would Kylan say?
Swallowing your pride.
Yeah,
Just because you're right doesn't mean you got to say anything.
true. When I look
Sometimes it's the yeah.
There's
Sometimes I
one
think
more
it's the
I'm looking.
beauty of just silencing your tongue can be just stop
Yeah.
talking at it.
Yep. Wholesome tongue's a tree of life. There's a time to speak. There's a time to shut up. There's one more I'm looking for, and it's so obvious.
Is a humble heart?
It's part of it. Yeah.
So I think about when Jesus was on the cross and he brought the thief in. He said, "No, you're going to be with me. It's all good."
There's one
Yeah.
verse, Waylon, that says a kind word turneth away wrath. Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about?
Was part of it.
What is
This
it?
one
Wayne?
is
Proverbs.
the first motion of peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. Luke 14 and 31 and 32. It says, or what king, Luke 14, 31, 32, or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulteth whether he be able to with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000, or else while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth ambassage and desireth conditions of peace.
Mm.
God the King, he's a great way off. He's
Yeah.
coming back with the armies of heaven, and he's going to execute judgment.
He will.
But ahead of that, he sent his ambassador.
That'll be the ultimate peace.
It is.
Yeah. What'd you say, Colin?
I said, but ahead of that, he has sent his ambassadors.
Yes.
Yes.
He sent the prophets. Last of all, he sent his son, and we make those conditions of peace. Well, he made the conditions of peace, but we and you guys are right. Humble, swallow your pride, submit. And the first step that you can do to be a peacemaker is make peace with God,
Yes,
because
sir.
he's coming back to execute judgment. We submit to the conditions of peace, then we can start to have peace with those around us. But yeah, that's the first part of a peacemaker is bowing.
Yeah.
So you guys are right. I was just getting to a certain.
So how do you guys live your life? Are you aggressive drivers? Anybody?
Used to
No.
be.
I
not
try not to
anymore.
be. Used to be. Yeah.
Used to be, right? So not only age kind of mellows you out, right? As we get older, it
Right.
mellows you out. Not only age, but coming into God, that mellows you out as well,
Oh
Right.
yeah,
That's
Right.
the only thing that got me mellow.
yeah.
And that's part of the peacemaking process.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
You have to get a little older, a little more experience.
Right.
You have to dive into the word to understand, okay, I can't be that guy I was where I was cutting people off in traffic or
Right.
people or whatever. Yeah. So peace, man.
Peace.
It
Be a
does.
peacemaker.
That's exactly right. And when you start doing that, then comes verses 10, 11, and 12, which ends the Beatitudes as far as what we're used to reading. Persecution comes. You're not cussing people like you used to. You're not causing problems like you used to. You're not cutting people off like you used to.
Right.
You're not wanting to smack somebody in the mouth because
Uh,
you get irritated what they say
I
all the
hear
time
you.
like you used to. And you start suffering for the right reasons instead of all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what verses
Yes.
10 reading down through 12,
Mm-hmm.
which it's a lot more than that, but that's
There's a lot more to it all. That's why we do this
yeah.
every Sunday.
We
Every
do.
Sunday. Because you could do this Bible and be done with a podcast in, I don't know, a couple years. But I think we have multiple years.
Yes.
In infinite years we could do this podcast and still not really get
Yeah.
what the essence of the Bible is.
Jesus could come as just shine as far as the east is from the west. His second coming could happen. We could be doing this broadcast, breaking it down, and just it'd be over. You know what I'm
Just take it
saying?
out of here. Yep.
It did say that of writing books, there is no end.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right.
I mean, it's right out of the Bible. There is no end.
Right.
That's right. I love it.
We ready for final thoughts?
Let's
Yes,
do it.
sir.
All right. Anybody want to volunteer to go first before I start picking randomly?
I'll go, Doc.
All right. David Snell, final thoughts.
Yes, y'all. My spiritual brothers, just want to thank you let me to come in. Very good word tonight. And one of the things that I took away from tonight is be humble, be understanding where people are at. There was a time I wasn't always like this. I was so quick at the tongue. But as I got older and wiser, I understand you got to hear people out. You got to find out where they at and where they stand. And that's the thing. I'm I'm very humbled about. I love to hear what other people have to say. It's kind of like what my pastor was saying this afternoon. You just have to learn, just find out where people are at. And so I love you guys and I appreciate you letting me come in. You could have left me at the dark, but Nancy Day have to come back. Let's keep talking and growing. Peace, man.
I love it, David. David Snell, ladies and gentlemen. Kylan Erickson, final thoughts.
Well, I guess to echo what David just said, I mean, it's it just left me. How's that? I'm pretty tired today. Today was my daughter's second birthday, so
Okay,
it's
got
been
it.
a good
Oh,
day.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday to the daughter, right?
Yeah.
What's her name, Kylan?
Ren. Her
Ren.
English name is Ren.
Ren?
Her
Okay.
Korean name is Harin.
Got it.
Adine?
Harin, yeah.
Honey.
I like that.
But in English, her name is Wren.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
like the little bird.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm fried. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you good.
No worries.
We
All
understand.
right. Marcus Pratt, final
Yeah.
thoughts.
Well, these whole Beatitudes is a pretty high standard for all of us to live up to. And I'd like to say, first and foremost, without the Lord in your life, you can't achieve any of this.
No.
So, for the people that are out there that may be watching and they want these kind of effects in their life, they want that peace, they want that meekness, or maybe you just want to go to heaven. If you don't believe it, it's really not that hard. Salvation is simple. The Bible said, "He that cometh to God must first believe that he is, and that he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." There's some seeking that'll have to be involved. And for the Christian people that are watching this tonight, I'm sure you've probably heard a lot of what we went over, but that's really not our target audience. We're reaching out into the world through this, trying to help some lost soul make it to heaven.
Yeah.
At least that's my heart, and I feel
Right.
like you brothers are in that category too. It ain't about me. It ain't about being popular or any of that. There's a higher calling.
Yes.
And if you don't have the Lord in your life, find you somebody that is a strong believer that loves God,
Hmm.
and keep yourself around them and surround yourself with people like that to start. I've got a buddy of mine that when he came back to the Lord, he had a statement. He said, "You either got to change your friends or
All
you
right.
got to change your friends."
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
That'll hit with you later on.
Yeah.
But there has to be some kind of change that takes place. And I think it starts with the people you surround yourself with.
I agree.
You walk with the wise and you'll be wise. That's all I got. God bless.
Hello. Hello.
All right.
Amen.
Frank Wiley,
Frank.
final thoughts.
Hey, everything that y'all said is dead on. I love the fact we come on here, we break it down, we dig deep, we get into some books I haven't thought of in a while in the Bible and pull something out, tie it together. The Beatitudes are a great lesson. He lays it all out for us. And in that short bit of verses right there, I mean, we spent a couple of weeks on it, hours on it, talking and breaking it down. That's what we got to do. We got to keep talking with each other. We got to keep asking the questions. We got to, iron sharpens iron. We don't know
Yes,
everything,
sir.
and we're just trying to point people, back to this book. All the answers are in here,
That's right.
and we don't have them all, but they're in there. So
Yeah.
I just encourage everybody to, keep reading, keep asking, keep wondering, keep seeking. God didn't go anywhere. We did. So,
Yes,
he's waiting for us to come on back. So, if you want to come on, come on. Let's talk about, I've seen, the past couple of weeks for me, I've seen all kinds of things coming around in my world right now. Some good, some bad, some tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep coming back and standing firm on this.
That's right.
And that's all we can do. And I just pray that somebody somewhere sees this and says, "Hey, I'm going to give this a shot, and I'm going to open up my mind and my heart and see what goes on."
Oh,
I'd like
yeah.
to see everybody come along with us. I know that's not necessarily going to happen, but we were charged to be the hands and feet. So let's go out there and just love on people and remind them they're a dearly loved child of God. And sometimes we got to say, "God loves you, and I'm trying," and
Right.
that's where it goes.
That's it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Amen.
Thanks, Frank. Waylon the Red Rooster. Final
Again, want to thank everybody for your prayers. I'm feeling a whole bunch better. I'm still sluggish, but I'm so happy to be out of that bed and be feeling better. Just a quick point for some of my favorite once saved, always saved eternal security teachers here. I don't know if you noticed this, but the Beatitudes are qualifications on how to be blessed. Now, I know once saved, always saved guys don't believe in qualifications. Um, but the whole entire blessed, 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 if blessed, these people are blessed, these people are blessed. All of those are a qualification that you meet in order to receive the blessing. And
Mm.
none of these are faith alone things. You can't dig it out. You can't. You just have to completely make it up because faith alone is not in the 5th chapter of Matthew. It's about people that believed and did something about their belief, and they were blessed because of that. So, God bless all of you. Thank you for being for being with us. Any people that want to come on that people that know Frank or Marcus or Kylan or David, any of us, please
We
let
want to
us
get
know.
Guzman on here.
Yes,
Yeah, we
Goosen he
should.
could come on sometime.
He can.
And God bless you, Goosen, for being with us. He's faithful. He's always he's on Thursdays and Sundays.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
bread.
oh, yeah,
How could you forget,
man.
Wayne?
Hey, man, I've been sick. I've been sick. I'm gonna blame it on my sickness. I'm blaming everything on my sickness.
Doc should have made you that.
Speaking of that, oh, this just came to my mind. In Pursuit of Change is coming out. It's already out.
Who's the
You got
fat guy on the right?
yeah. Well, you got the handsome guy over here, and then you got the almost as handsome guy right
Oh, it's that
there.
chubby guy.
Yeah, we're just gonna flip it over. What's this chapter here? Oh, beautiful chapter. This is called Hairless in Harlem. Right
Huh.
there, Hairless in Harlem. It's a great chapter. I think you're gonna love the book. And this, for those of you that didn't know, I did get an award that I gave to myself for the book. And somebody did say it was riveting. I'm not making that up. I was
I was
told that
just
it was
gonna say, I
riveting.
bet it's riveting.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Smash hit.
so I just want to thank
Smashed it
everybody.
against the
Yeah.
wall, but yeah.
Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up. I think one of them are dead. So that may not be right.
Uh-oh.
All right. This has been not Rooster Doc and Friends. Christian Crossfire.
That's right.
We'll see you next time. 8:45. Be here, be nowhere. Good night. And